Good evening, everyone. How are you? I hope you're all very well, and I'm really excited to be sharing with you our latest treatment at Riverbanks, utilising the latest in technology, and it really is groundbreaking stuff here. Basically, we're going to be introducing to you a whole new concept. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Oh, sorry. Let's turn that off. A whole new concept in body contouring, and improving not just the fatty content, which previous body contouring devices have all been about, but are actually going to help you improve your muscle tone as well as muscle bulk. And this has significant and numerous benefits, which I'll explain to you later. Right, so now, if any of you, just a few housekeeping points. If you haven't already entered the question, the poll, please do. A little bit tongue-in-cheek, but there's also a serious question there as well. Gives me an idea of really what your concerns may be, and how this treatment may be applicable for you. Also, if you haven't already, please find our YouTube channel, which is called Riverbanks Clinic Harpenden. There is an imitation site as well called Riverbanks Clinic Harpenden, and do pop over there. This is streaming live on there right now, and also will be available to watch again at a later date if you miss anything today. Please can you like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. That really helps us get found by other people who are looking for any of our treatments. Right, so this typically is how most of us believe you can increase your core strength, your abdominal strength, your buttock strength, your quad strength, planking. And yes, that's true. But as I've certainly found as I get older, that it's much, much harder to increase muscle bulk as we get older. And that's mainly because of the change in our metabolism, our drop off in our hormones, particularly the testosterone hormone, which is a muscle building hormone. And why is that relevant? Well, it's relevant because we need good muscle tone to improve our posture and protect our spine and our joints from injury. So it's not just an aesthetic reason to have a treatment. There's actually really are good reasons, good functional reasons as well. So who is this treatment really targeting? Well, really, if any of you want to improve your body shape, and that may be your buttocks, that may be your abdomen, that may be your core, that may be your arms as well. By improving the muscle size, the muscle tone, we can strengthen your core, and that can be useful for any activity, whether it's walking, running, swimming, gym exercise, or even if it's for tightening your muscles after pregnancy, because as many of you will know that after pregnancy, the abdominal muscles can be overstretched, they can separate, and therefore lending itself to showing more of a hanging abdomen and a swollen abdomen than before pregnancy. So therefore, what this will do, this treatment, HIFEM treatment, will correct your posture by significantly, and this is so exciting, significantly increasing muscle mass. And with the latest generation of HIFEM devices, we will also reduce fat content as well. So very, very exciting. So let me explain to you what HIFEM is. And I'm so pleased that you all got the right answer in the poll so far. Thank you very much. You're all obviously highly, highly well read up on this. So HIFEM is high intensity focused electromagnetic energy. So what this is, it's a treatment similar, it uses a similar energy to what we find in MRI scanners. And what it's doing, it really causes high tension muscle contraction. And I'll explain that to you in a bit more detail, but by contracting the muscles in a high intensity way, you actually build up more muscle, just like you're going for a workout. By exercising those muscles, you build them. Our system combines radio frequency, and what this does by simultaneously delivering radio frequency energy together with the electromagnetic energy of the HIFEM, we get reduction of fatty content as well as improving the blood supply to these muscles, and therefore so they can contract more and they can develop more collagen stimulation and production, and that improves the overall results which you get. Okay, so let me just show you a little schematic here. This is, the lower line is time. So this is how a time pulse, right? Let's imagine you're doing a sit-up. You crunch, relax, crunch, relax. And this is actually the how much of the muscle you're using. So believe it or not, even though it may feel so when you do a sit-up, you use just a small portion of your muscle. You do not use the full thickness of the muscle when contracting. And this is through a voluntary contraction, for example. And this will be clearer in the next slide, where I'll show you when we use the HIFEM, it creates a super maximal contraction. So you don't get the pulsing like you do with the voluntary contraction. You get a full thickness contraction, and it's sustained for the period of the pulse. Okay, and the pulses last about 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, and so what you see here is a super high intensity, super focused, super frequent, super max contraction, to the point that you will get about 20,000 contractions during a 30-minute HIFEM treatment. Now that sounds absolutely worrying and terrifying for most people, but believe you me, it's not that bad. Holding a plank for maybe 4 or 5 minutes is a lot worse. Okay, fine. Just before I go on to the next slide, I just want you to, if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section on the Zoom chat, on the Zoom app. I will address those at the end because the questions are coming up on a different screen to me right now. Okay, thank you very much. Right, okay, so let's recap. A voluntary contraction is intermittent and not as intense as a supermax contraction that you get with the HIFEM. And they can be used on your abs, on your deltoids, on your buttocks, and on your thighs. Now, particularly with the buttocks and the abs, this is great for posture control. This is great for back pain, backaches, also great for flattening the stomach, for the rectus diastasis, and also for lifting up butts. You know, and these will all enhance your workouts at the gym, for example. Okay, so what is it really? Well, essentially what we've got here, we have a paddle that we have two, you could have 2 paddles on each side or 1 paddle in the center. It depends on the size of your abdomen. And you can also place them on the buttocks as well. It feels like an intensive workout. I have had one tonight. I'm on a current course, and you will feel like your abdomen is being contracted in an intense way. Now, I have never had children. I have never been in labor, but people who have say it's similar to birthing contractions, but not as sustained. Not as sustained. We can change the intensity of the contractions depending on where you're at. Now, for example, I started on a 35% or 25% power because I'm a weak male. All right. But after about 2 or 3 sessions, I've now managed to progress to 100% power. And what it is, we don't want to go too powerful too early, because if you can't handle that, it could potentially cause muscle injury, and that's what we're trying to do. In between each session, you will be gaining the benefit of increased muscle growth, and the muscles will get used to it, just like they do when you're at the gym. So I'm going to show you the next video. Now, the next video, I apologize. It is me being treated, so I hope no one's just had their tea. Here we go. So this is our system, and what you can see here, we've got 2 paddles on each side, and you can see how the muscles are contracted. And it's just using the abs. This one just uses the abs. Now, that's a slightly different phase. There are three phases in the cycle. There's a warm-up phase, a workout phase, and a relaxing phase. And you can see as the power has increased, my contraction has increased. But honestly, I'm comfortable there. I'm not dreading it. I'm preparing myself. We can tell you when the next contraction is going to be. And this one, you can see it's slightly getting my obliques as well, because we shifted the paddle slightly laterally. And I think this one is the relaxation phase. Now this is the warm-up phase, so it's a slightly less intense. Okay. You don't require painkillers before this treatment. It's not as bad as I've made out. It just takes getting used to. It's not painful like some other of the treatments we may have here. You don't need Emla cream, you don't need anesthesia, you don't need painkillers. This is just like you don't need painkillers going to the gym. It's the same concept. We're just using muscle contractions here, just muscle contractions. Okay, so let's recap. When we start off, before we've had this, we have got some relaxed muscles, which are thinner than we'd like them to be, and they have low density and reduced volume. By exposing them to supramaximal contractions and radio frequency energy, the muscle tissue is forced to adapt. And what happens is we get an increase in muscle density and volume. And it's not just me saying this. There have been studies coming out that have proven this. This study here from Chicago University looked at what we've got, the HIFEM and synchronized radio frequency for abdominal fat reduction and muscle toning. And what it did, it didn't just take photos, it looked at an MRI scans to evaluate muscle thickness and fat reduction around the abdomen, above the muscle. And what was shown that at 3 months after the course of treatments, there was 26% thickening of muscle and a 31% reduction in fat above the muscle. So that's significant. The results continued to develop once the course had finished. And these results were maintained at 6 months. So this is really, really exciting data. There was another study which looked at non-invasive, that's a mistake, the non-invasive buttock lifting and toning of gluteal muscles. And it was by the same author, as well as Mariano, who I know from San Diego. And what they showed that patients noticed a visual improvement which increased their confidence in their appearance of wearing their clothes, as well as a high patient satisfaction. So really, really high clinical effects as well as patient satisfaction effects. Here are some results, okay? So it's important to appreciate most of the marking you see will show abs and ripped abs. This is real, okay? And you'll see that there's an improved in definition and fat reduction. Look how the buttock shape here has lifted, as well as here, and you can even see and how this is lifted, you can see because the infragluteal fold, this crease here, has shortened and the angle has changed. And even here on the deltoids, you can see that the slightly reduced tone on the deltoids, on the outer aspect of the arm, has become much more uniform and toned. Here's a lady, this is about 8 weeks after her treatment course, and you can see some fat reduction, but also improved definition of her abdomen. And she's postmenopausal. This is a lady who's only 32, but she's had babies, and there was a weakening of her abdomen. But this is her immediately after her 4th treatment for abdomen. So you can see her muscles are in a massive state of contraction, just like when you go to the gym and you're contracted. But this is just from lying down, and you'll see that these results are just the early results, they're not the long-term results. Okay, so it's important to exercise. This treatment has not been introduced for lazy people to use it as a substitute for exercise. Okay, this is designed really to give those people that are trying their best to improve their muscle tone, to improve the appearance of their abdomen, to correct their posture, who may suffer from backaches as well. This is designed to go alongside their exercise protocols and to help them get the most out of their workouts and their rehab. Because when your core is strong, you have much better balance and stability in your pelvis, lower hips, lower back, and you're more able to function and be ready for almost anything. Let's recap on diastasis recti. So if you've got a separation of the abdominal muscles, okay, after pregnancy, these can be tightened. So typically we measure the gap here in the number of fingers we can feel between the muscles, fit between the muscles in your abdomen. And some women it's 1 finger, 2, 3, okay. After this, it's known to reduce by a finger per course. So that's quite significant. And previously, if exercises hadn't worked, the only other way to correct this was via abdominal plication, which is a surgical correction where the muscles are stitched together, and usually done at the same time as a tummy tuck surgery and abdominoplasty. We don't recommend this treatment in anyone who's pregnant or got open wounds in the area or may have some active metal in near the area, just like an MRI. What you will notice is that straight away you will feel as if you've done a workout. You'll feel tightening after the first session. Okay. Patients have said to me that they feel less squidgy. Okay. They feel their muscles are more toned, and as a result, they feel better in themselves. It's like when you've gone to the gym and you've pumped some iron or you've done a run, you feel better in yourself. Well, this is sustained. You do feel better in yourself. Your posture improves and your muscle tone improves. And this will continue to develop through the course. So how much does it cost? Well, if you do choose to go individually, it's $250 a session, but we recommend a course of 6, and that's at a discounted price of £1,200. And that really is, and you can do this as often as you want, but we wouldn't, I don't think you really need to be looking at doing this more than 2 to 3 times a year if you want. One course may be enough and keep you going. You may want to do it as part of rehab. You may want to do a course before holidays, etc. We'll leave that to you. Now, I'm just going to go through some of the questions. Right, so can you book HIFEM and Embella sessions together? Yes, you can. Embella is a form of HIFEM, but it just targets the pelvic floor muscles, and it's delivered by sitting on a chair, a special chair. We can book those together. What you do on the app, you just go to the Embella / HIFEM category and book your appointments. They're half an hour each. And the half an hour for HIFEM is per area. So for abdomen or buttocks or arms or legs. If you have RSI on your right shoulder or arm, can you have HIFEM? I would really like to examine you beforehand. If that was the case, just to make sure I can understand exactly what's going on, because significant muscle stimulation could aggravate RSI. Thank you for that question. Do you need painkillers? No, you don't. I think I answered that. How painful is the pain? The aches after the treatment are not limiting, okay? But that's my personal experience, okay? And patients have not reported being bedbound or crippled or unable to carry on the day. It just feels like you've done an intense workout, that's all. I hope the person that couldn't see me, or couldn't see my graphics has been able to see me. If not, this will be replayed online. That's about it, really. Okay, so as I said, if you've got any further questions after this, please pop them in the comments, which will be on the YouTube, or drop us an email. I really am excited about this treatment. I think it has a lot to offer. It's going to compound, it's going to help people's lifestyles and improve their general health, and help them get the most out of what they're already doing with their exercises. This can augment treatments like cool sculpting, where that will be used for debulking fat, and then this will be used for toning the muscles. This will be together with vasolipo in exactly the same manner. So please do write any comments in the section below, and thank you very much. And there we go, pop over to our YouTube channel and give us a like and subscribe. Have a great evening, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.